Have you ever wondered why your dog follows you everywhere? You stand up. They stand up. You walk into the kitchen. They're already behind you. You head upstairs. They're right there again. Even when you're just going to the bathroom, somehow they already know where you're going. Most people think dogs do this because they're hoping for food or because they're simply being clingy. But that's usually not the real reason. In fact, this everyday behavior tells us something incredible about how your dog sees you. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your dog follows you, what they're really trying to tell you, and how to tell the difference between healthy attachment and a behavior that may need a little extra attention. So, let's answer the biggest question first. Why does your dog follow you everywhere? The short answer is simple: because your dog feels safest near someone they trust. But if that's true, why do they feel the need to stay close almost all the time? Think about your own day. You move from room to room without giving it much thought, but your dog doesn't know where you're going next. All they know is that the person they trust most has just walked away. So instead of staying behind, they make a simple decision. They follow. Not because they're worried, not because they're demanding attention, but because being close to you feels normal. To your dog, you're part of their world. Staying nearby is often just as natural as lying down for a nap or drinking water after a walk. It's one of the ways they stay connected to the person who provides comfort, routine, and security every single day. But here's something interesting. If your dog follows you because they trust you, why do they sometimes stop and simply stare at you? Let's be honest. We've all had that moment. You look up from your phone, and your dog is already looking straight at you. Sometimes it's cute. Sometimes it's a little awkward. It almost feels like they're waiting for something, and sometimes they are. But more often than not, they're doing something much smarter. They're studying you. Dogs don't understand calendars, clocks, or daily schedules the way we do. Instead, they learn by recognizing patterns. Every single day, they're quietly collecting information about your routines. The shoes you wear before a walk, the sound your keys make before you leave the house, the way you reach for the leash, even the difference between picking up your work bag and grabbing a grocery bag. To us, these are tiny details we barely notice. To your dog, they're clues. The more they watch you, the better they become at predicting what happens next. That's why many dogs get excited before you've even said the word walk. They aren't reading your mind. They're reading you. So if your dog learns by watching you, why do they sometimes bring you their favorite toy and then walk away? Because they're inviting you into their world. Most people think a dog only brings a toy because they want to play. Sometimes that's true. But if you've ever watched your dog proudly carry their favorite toy over to you, only to drop it and walk away, you've probably wondered what just happened. Here's what's really happening. To your dog, that toy isn't just another object lying around the house. It's something they enjoy, something they value, and in many cases, something that makes them feel comfortable. When they choose to bring it to you, they're often doing more than asking for a game of fetch. They're choosing to share something important with someone they trust. It's a little like a child excitedly showing a parent their favorite drawing. They're not always asking for anything in return. Sometimes they're simply saying, "Look what I have." Of course, every dog is different. Some are clearly asking you to throw the toy, while others seem perfectly happy just leaving it beside you before walking away. That's why it's important to look at the whole moment instead of just the toy itself. Is their tail relaxed? Do they stay nearby? Are they looking back at you? Dogs communicate through their entire body, not just one action. The next time your dog brings you their favorite toy, don't immediately think they want to play. Instead, ask yourself, what are they trying to share with me? But if your dog loves being close to you, why do they sometimes choose to sleep on the other side of the room? Because love and personal space can exist at the same time. One of the biggest myths about dogs is that if they truly love you, they'll always want to sleep right beside you. The truth is, dogs have preferences just like we do. Some breeds naturally enjoy staying close all night. Others prefer cooler floors, a quiet corner, or their own bed where they can stretch out comfortably. That doesn't mean they've become distant or love you any less. Think about your own family. You don't need to sit beside someone every minute of the day to care about them. Dogs are surprisingly similar. Many of them simply want to know where you are. Once they know you're safe and nearby, they're perfectly comfortable finding the spot that feels best for them. In fact, if your dog chooses to relax peacefully somewhere else while still checking in on you from time to time, that's often a sign of confidence. They're comfortable enough to be independent because they already trust the relationship. Sometimes love doesn't look like constant attention. Sometimes it looks like peaceful confidence. So, after everything we've learned today, what is your dog really trying to say every time they quietly walk behind you? Sometimes it's because they're curious. Sometimes they're trying to figure out what you're about to do next. Sometimes they're hoping you accidentally drop a piece of chicken in the kitchen. But more often than not, they're following the person who makes them feel safe. And maybe that's something we don't appreciate enough. We spend so much time wondering whether we're giving our dogs the best food, the best toys, or the best bed, that we sometimes forget one simple truth. To your dog, one of the best places in the world is simply wherever you are. The next time you hear those little footsteps behind you, don't think, "Here comes my shadow again." Instead, smile. Because somewhere in your home is a heart that simply enjoys sharing life with you. And honestly, that's one of the most beautiful compliments a dog can ever give. If this episode helped you understand your dog a little better, make sure to subscribe to Paws Cosmos, where every episode helps you discover what your dog is really trying to tell you. And now we'd love to hear from you. Does your dog follow you everywhere? Or are they the independent type? Tell us in the comments. Your story might inspire our next episode. See you around the cosmos.